So this is a drift car. We're building it to be a drift car, building it to go out, do some skids, get sideways, have a bit of a laugh. But I've put a fair bit of effort into this rear suspension, and it just seemed a little bit silly not to take full advantage of that when I'm building the rest of the car. So I'm not quite ready, but one of the things that needs to happen is I need to build the rear tubs, because I've cut all this sheet steel out, so I need to seal that back up because it's just open inside the car. So this is at maximum height with the 14s. That was my clearance that I had there. Probably run a bit larger tyre and it'd still be okay. This is absolutely maxed out suspension, so it doesn't actually really travel here a whole lot. It sits 50, 60 mil a bit lower than this at ride height. But I thought to myself, well, while I'm here, while I'm about to build a tub, what if perhaps maybe this ends up at a drag strip one day? I've never been drag racing. I wouldn't mind giving it a crack. It doesn't overly appeal to me, but you know, I've put a fair bit of effort into a 4-link rear end, so maybe it would be a bit of a laugh and you know, something interesting to rip down the drag strip. So before I start building tubs, I had a chat to a gentleman on Facebook called Dan. Dan has a panel van also. Dan has a rather large 2JZ in the front, 1J, 2J. Big motor, big turbo in the front. Runs massive wheels on the back, and he roll races and drag races it. So I had a bit of a chat to him and said, hey, what size tyre did you used to run on your van before you went to absolute monster ones? Had a bit of a chat. He said 235 60 on an R15 before he went an even bigger tyre, and he said that they were pretty decent. Now, I don't have a heap of power, so a tyre that size would be more than enough. So that was one conversation that I had, which led to another conversation with a friend, Jeffrey. Some of you may know him as El Jefe, and he has a chop shop, and if you watch his YouTube channel, he's buying more cars and more parts every day of the week. But he's a good lad. I rang him up and I said, hey Jeff, you know people. Do you know anyone that would perhaps have a drag tyre that they would lend Tommy Junkhouse for an afternoon? Long story short, the next day, Jeff rolls up to the workshop with this. So this is a 235 60 drag radial. Mickey Thompson back here. Let's have a go at this, shall we? Let's see how this pans out. Let's go drag racing. How good's that? So I'm glad I grabbed a set of these, because clearances are a little bit tight. But before I start making the wheel tub, now that I know that I'd like to bolt something like this on eventually, I can make it to suit. So I've got a bit of clearance issue at the front and the back, which is easily sorted. And then this is, I believe, a 15 by 8 plus 20. Now I've got heaps of room on the inside of this tyre still. So if I was to get a set of rims that are like a 15 plus 30, 35 maybe, that will sit in enough. Nice big tub on the inside, this will sit in a little bit, and I can run the drag radials on this, no dramas. So just a bit of forward thinking of, hey, we've got a pretty cool rear end in this. It took a lot of work, maybe we can get a full potential out of it at a drag strip. So a bit of fun. And now that I've seen them on the car, I can design that rear tub in a way that will incorporate the idea of perhaps running something like this in the future, just to sort of give us some more options with the shell later on down the track. So thanks Dan for the chat. Thanks Jeff for grabbing some wheels, and thanks, I think it's Tim who owns the wheels. Cheers Blake. much appreciate just a quick test fit, and from there I can look at what needs to happen to make that tub fit. Big old piece of rubber.
If you've got any experience with drag racing, I'd be really interested to hear how fast you reckon this car would be at a drag strip. Stock Ecotech, it'd be under a tonne, put a bit of sticky rubber on the back. Do you reckon it'd be good for a 14? Let me know. Also, jump over and check out the El Jefe Chop Shop YouTube channel. He's always up to something mad, so it's always a bit of a laugh. Have a great one, everybody.